and gentlemen, welcome back to Planet Tyro with your host Donald Wunder and
Katface Killa.
Katface Killa, Serial Killer, the old boy. Welcome back, my friend, my buddy, my pal. How you been?
Been good. I actually just killed some cereal, ironically.
Killed some cereal? Killed some? You mean eating cereal? You Americans and your lingo. What does that mean?
It means I prepared a bowl of cereal. I laid it down in front of my face, and then I stuffed my face in it like a cat, and I murdered it.
Anyway, people, we don't want to hear about old boy's bullshit life story. We want to talk about anime, manga, and all the other good stuff, because that's what I had my buddy Catface on to talk about. And now we're going to talk about manga, Dojin, which is kind of an independent offering from another independent mangaka. And ironically, you already read this without my knowledge.
Yeah.
But after we did the, what is it, Ononi Master Kurizawa Masturbation
Say
Master,
its English name.
Masturbation Master Kurizawa, after we did that review, very underrated manga that actually is very, very cool, interesting, good topic. Check out the review. I'll put a link on the screen so you can click on that. Someone on Reddit replied, and what's his name? Where's your name?
It's a Sliders fanboy?
No.
Oh, well, I don't really care then.
Reddit user Banwa recommended that we check out another manga called Molester Man. Another manga with a questionable title that he said, you know what, if you like Masturbation Master Kurizawa, you're gonna like Molester Man. And I thought to myself, the thing about anime and manga, never judge a book by its cover. Because anime and manga titles, they can have some ridiculously stupid names, so...
Oh, yeah, like Midori Days, you know, the title, picture, the guy with the girl in his hand.
Yeah, and this my life as a zombie and the world only God knows. Some of the titles just don't really sound right, and we don't know if they're because of this direct English translation, so they don't make sense. And maybe in Japan they're more like funny puns. But either way, Molester Man, the title, it's an in joke. The whole title is an in joke, but this is a seinen romance story, and the old boy, well, a while ago he was talking about. Well, me and him are both talking about how romance in anime manga is portrayed in a very
dumb way.
Yeah, very dumb, very just frustrating way. And I don't know, we said maybe it's because Japanese culture or whatever, but in general, it's just not, it's unpleasant for us. This title, Molester Man, I really enjoyed it. And here's some details. Molester Man was made in 2004. It's 21 chapters. It's illustrated and written by Yokota Takuma. And it's written off something that really happened. Someone wrote something, hey, I was on the train when I was chasing some girl, and it got onto 2chan, and the mangaka got inspired and made the story from a true story. So, and the thing is, the setting is somewhat realistic anyway. It's not fantastical or anything. It's fiction, but, you know, it's an
real world.
Yeah,
our modern day real world.
Yeah, it's an ordinary story. And basically, the initial premise is, the main character, whose name is Molester Man, and the mangaka...
It's the name he was born with.
Yeah, the mangaka decides to make a funny theme where he names characters really odd names. Like, the main character is called Molester Man through the whole manga. And in the beginning, he's actually walking home, and he sees this woman walking, and he's looking at her walking home, and he's saying to himself, oh, I bet she's scared, she's walking home, I bet she thinks someone's chasing her, and she's running away, and he's like, oh, someone's chasing her, I better chase her and make sure no one's chasing them. Basically, it's kind of a funny thing where he ends up being the one chasing her, and she's running away from him. By the time he realizes it, it's too late, and they end up in a police station. It starts off as a misunderstanding, and guess what? Guess what the girl's name is, old boy, that he's chasing?
Topless lady.
Misunderstanding. Da, 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 da. So clever, my god. So his name's Molester Man, her name's Misunderstanding, and then we get other characters we meet along the line that have other ridiculous names. And upon reading this manga in the beginning, I just thought to myself, it's harmless, it's pretty comedic. As the story progresses, this becomes actually a really mature, very well written romance story dealing with the main guy and a few girls, and how a relationship blossoms. And all I want to say is, I'm not going to go into spoilers, people. This was very well written. It's 21 chapters, really short, and I think the way
it's based on a real story, so it better be well written.
Well, there's a lot of anime and manga based on real stories that just turn to complete shit, and a lot of them are slice of life. Even though I know you like slice of life, but this one was done, you know what, exceptionally well. But what did you think about it before I delve more into the characters and stuff?
just like a few sentences. The way I feel about Molester Man is it's I could see that kind of romance being real. It's based off a real story, but it's like you said, a lot of them they take liberties. I don't think a lot of liberties were really taken with the story. 21 chapters, very straightforward. This is what happened with this dude's pursuit of love, and I think it was a pretty beautiful story. It's one of the only knocks I have for it. I mean, it makes sense because I mean the way people are talking nowadays and stuff, like texting or calling and shit. It's a very text-driven story. The artwork is kind of secondary, but I mean if you're just looking for a story specifically, it's a good story. I liked it a lot. I liked the romance. It made me laugh a lot too, and it was short. Shorter is better than longer.
Couldn't agree more. Now, let me talk a little bit about the characters. The main character, Molester Man, he is the thing I like about him. He is like a normal dude, especially in
Oh
2015.
man, whoa, that's some dangerous waters because supposedly
Let me explain.
every male protagonist is supposed to be your normal guy.
Well, all right, more normal in. I felt like he was someone I could relate to because he acted like a normal guy, but when you see his home life, he's a nerd, he's a gamer, but he doesn't act like your stereotypical anime dweeb where he's wearing glasses, he's got the stupid haircut, he doesn't know how to dress. He looked like a normal dude, he spoke normally, his whole attitude and persona was just in real life, not in anime where these no personality, insert yourself blank characters. He had a personality, he had a temper, he was a bit of a pervert, he was a bit of an otaku, he was a bit of everything. He felt like someone I fucking knew. And growing up as a teenager, I said, you know what? I was a lot like this guy. He's not too good, he's not too bad, he's a good all arounder. And the thing with fucking anime and manga, when you get these harems, all these romance stories usually in anime and manga, the characters are dweeb, he's shy, he's lonely, he's sad, and for no apparent reason, all these girls love him. But when you look at him as a character, you're like, why the fuck do they like him? He's got no personality. This guy has personality. He just seems like someone that, like you, old boy, like someone I would know who does all these different things. He has a job, he goes to college, he likes anime, he likes manga, he
Oh,
likes
hey, hey,
romance.
I do not go to college. Thank you very much.
I'm just saying, he feels like just someone that is realistic and not in terms of normal anime and mangas. Like, I know this dude. I have a friend named Michael, that's him, and that's who this dude was. Apart from the fact his name's fucking Molester Man, he actually felt like someone that I haven't seen in anime and manga, which is ironically a normal fucking guy.
Yeah, I feel what I really liked about Molester Man is it is a character piece. I mean, without Molester Man, there is no story, and he's real. Like you were saying, I could see this guy really existing, not like your typical anime or manga protagonist who's just, frankly, a piece of shit.
Yeah.
They always get described as having no redeeming qualities. This guy, over the course of the story, is full of redemption. He's kind of socially awkward, but he's willing to go take his lumps to become more sociable. And in the end, he actually gets put in a position where he can do the right thing, and he does. It's kind of a spoiler, but he actually is somebody that's likable to me. Instead of being like a piece of shit, he wants it all, just like your typical protagonist in romance, and especially in harems. They want everything. They do the wrong things. They're always constantly forgiven. I forgive this guy. I mean, it wasn't even really his fault necessarily. He was kind of insensitive that caused that kind of problem that came up, but he tried to make amends. He really did.
Yeah, honestly, I really like this guy, and we don't want to go into spoilers about one particular element, but there is a unexpected romance, and that is the crux of the story. And the way it develops, the way it executes, is so mature, fucking mature, and believable that I was like, you know what, this is one of the best romances I've seen because the way they handle their situation, which gets complicated, but by the end of it, I said, you know what? You really went through the stages of a relationship in a very believable way, and even the situation that you have seen in anime manga before is handled so maturely that when it was over, and when it got to the resolute and it was over, I said to myself, I believe that. That worked out well. I like all the characters. There's a lot of female characters as well, by the way, that are kind of archetypal, but even the female characters felt real. The love interest at the end, I liked her as well. And honestly, I'm gonna wrap this up and say the artwork, like you said, was kind of meh, but the other character that made this manga stand out the most and makes this manga above the rest for me is the fucking chat room.
Yeah.
The main character is actually kind of talks about his problems or what he's going through with a live chat room, and that chat room is basically like you, the reader, because everything you're thinking, the chat room is telling him, and it's so brash and honest. It's like, wow, man, I feel like I'm right there with the character, and that was the most comedic element for the show. Let me tell you something, boy. On a whole, yeah, this manga, this doujin, gets seriously high praise for me for being so well written. The only slight I have against it is, I understand the name Molester Man is meant to be an in joke, it's meant to be ironic. It's just like, even more than Masturbation Master Komizawa, it's just such an off-putting. Hey, guy, check out Molester Man. It's, oh, and they use it. Trust me, when reading the manga, every time someone calls me, "Hey, Molester Man," it got really funny. Don't get me wrong, they commit to that joke, and it's hilarious. But by the end of it, I said to myself, man, if this wasn't called Molester Man, it would do a lot more for this manga's production. But in saying that, this is everything I would want in a romance manga for the demographic, the maturity, the way the story's handled, and the characters. I'm going to give it a high first class. The only reason it's not in my Hall of Fame, honestly, is just because of that name. And I do hold it a slight against it because it just makes it harder for me to promote on that alone.
Yeah, you could be like, hey, I heard you're looking for a good romance title. I want you to check this out. It's called Molester Man. The person's got to look at you pretty funny.
Exactly. There's no way I can, and I have to beg someone. No, it's really good. I'm like, why are you making me put so much fucking work into this? Because it's that good. So that's why I have to bring it down. I'll tell you this: it would have been in my Hall of Fame, and everything. This is a perfect. It ticks every single box on what I want in romance, except for that fucking name. So, yeah, I'm sorry. And obviously, you can't buy it. It's a doujin, so you can. There isn't actually an official release, which is another slight against it. So hopefully that comes, and that's my take on it, guys. So what do you think of it, yo boy? Am I being too generous?
No, it's solid, straight in the middle, first class for me too. I really wish there was more romance like this out there. Not just in anime and manga, just like fucking on TV and in movies and stuff. This is real. This is about a real guy with real interacting with real people, finding real love. To me, it's something I can relate to. It's something I can believe in. It's something I can earnestly like. I earnestly like that character. I like, most of the people in this story. It's short, but whatever. It's not that big of a deal. It was a good story, regardless, with a good take on romance. And it's a shame that it's not serialized or it didn't get made into an official manga or even anime. Short few episodes or something.
Yeah.
Because if people were like, anime and manga is so ridiculous, blah, 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 I'd just be like, I wouldn't even tell them what it's called. I'd just be like, here, read or watch this. It's very short. There's a lot of shit out there. That's just the way life is. No matter what you're talking about, most of it's shit. This is one of those things that's pretty good. It's at the top.
At this point, it's going to be my favorite romance manga to date, so hopefully there could be someone else that can dethrone this, but for now this is the best to date. And but guys, I want to thank the user on Reddit, Banwa, and you, goddamn old boy, you actually read this before and you somehow forgot about it. Shame on you.
Hey, I'm a fucking cat, okay? I have to remember how often I lick my balls and my butt and shit.
Oh man, 2004, people. I can't believe this has slipped through the goddamn cracks. If you're listening to this bloody podcast, if you take our recommendations seriously, and I know a few of you guys do on the channel, if you like anime and manga, if you actually just like romance stories, check out somehow, because you can't get it legally, I might even put a link to it in the description, guys. Check out Molester Man. The title was kind of stupid, but the story is worth it. And
don't judge a book by its cover. I mean, seriously, grow up.
I can't blame the audience. This guy really wasn't thinking that well. If he was called Molester Man, that's fine, but the title should have been called something else. It's too much. And once again, Japan, you have that reputation for being fucking weird, and this is one of them times where
I think it's less of them being fucking weird. They just like to go full retard, dude.
Well, we did our part, old boy. We promoted it on Planet Tyro, and hopefully you guys check it out. But let's leave it at that, because we gotta move on to some other things. So guys, if you want some more manga, anime conversations from me, Donald Wonder, and the old boy, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. leave a comment and hit that thumbs up button to know that you enjoy the content. But for now, we're gonna leave you. But I want you guys to contact my boy, the Katface Killa, on his Twitter handle, which is
Oh shit! Is it the underscore old boy?
you can't even remember. I'm not gonna edit it out because you couldn't remember. But he's right. It is at the underscore old boy, and get me at Planet Tyro. And you know what? I want to give a shout out to Twitter because there's a lot of you guys that have favorited, retweeted our tweets. You haven't gone unnoticed. I really do appreciate you guys. Twitter is a viable social media, guys. Well, use it. And anyway, guys, let's leave it at that now. Hit the annotation on the screen as you can see. Animation, movies, TV shows. You can see all that good stuff. Hit those annotations. Get more content. And until then, we're going to see you on the next one. So, I'm going to say, peace.
Bye bye.
Out.